so far. Yes, league football is back, so banter is back. What else? What else? I see they were trying to stereotype some people in England. We were talking about the EPL's new rules for ownership, the hypocritical new rules for ownership. When we come back, there was also the Mason Greenwood incident. There's still the conversation. Some people are saying Manchester United would have loved to bring him back, but they don't know what the reception will be. That even if the case has been dropped, the police is not chasing anything, there's still that backlash because everybody watched the video. So there may be backlash from some of their sponsors, and that's important because at the end of the day, it all comes down to money. So there may be backlash from sponsors who may not want to put their money behind something like that, or they want to perceive by the public as supporting stuff like that. And at the same time, they don't want to sell him. So it's interesting to see how that will pan out, but there are conversations going on. So all that what they're saying, we are investigating to see that. I don't think it's really an investigation. I think it's how do we get him back with as minimal backlash as possible. you know, that's what I think that's what the conversation is. But yeah, there's all of that going on behind background. Unfortunately, we don't have much about that story, so we can't tell you much. But we're talking about Arsenal, Manchester City, the La Liga, and some Anthony Joshua. We may even sprinkle in some Tyson Fury if you're nice to me. But first of all, Zibby, tell us how we can be part of the locker room.
All right. The WhatsApp number to send your messages to 0809 440 You could tweet at Smooth981. And we're streaming live on YouTube as well. So just search for us on our YouTube channel. It's Smooth981. Click live. You can join the live stream, post the comments, and voila.
Yeah, you're part of the show. All right. So let's see the rundown through the stories.
Anthony Joshua needs to knock out Jermaine Franklin, then call out Tyson Fury. Sergio Perez says he has Red Bull's backing to challenge Max Verstappen. Daniil Medvedev beats Christopher Eubanks to reach semi-finals. Man City sweat on Haaland ahead of key Liverpool clash. Atletico host Betis with unbeaten streaks on the line. Arsenal unity strengthens Arteta's belief in title charge. New rules bar human rights abusers from owning clubs. Gunners delivered on potential in Champions League.
All right, so those are all the stories. It's the Women's Champions League. The London women are just doing a whole lot better than their men. But we'll also touch on that briefly through the show. But first of all, let's visit what AJ is trying to do.
Now, the former two-weight world champion Carl Frampton has charged Anthony Joshua in his fight against Jermaine Franklin at London's O2 Arena on Saturday. Now, Anthony Joshua has to not only beat Jermaine Franklin at the O2, he has to win in style. A point win is not good enough. I want to see him get rid of Franklin early, standing in the ring, and then call out Tyson Fury. A loss, and I think that's the end for Joshua, because really, where does he go from there?
Do you understand? At that point in time, he has dug for oil, because right now he's down. But if he loses to Jermaine Franklin, he's not just down, he's under the ground. Wow. So I kind of agree with him. And because it was the same thing I was saying, when he came back against Fury. So it's just like, you can't win on points against that guy. I know you're afraid. I know you have to be calculative. But I think you have to make a statement win. And that's what he has to do against Jermaine Franklin. I've seen videos of him training. It's grueling. There's all kinds of, they're putting his body through the works, But all of that will come to naught if you get into the ring and we start bringing out calculator to count how many points before we can call you winner. At this point in time, he needs to resurrect his career. So he needs to come back like the Anthony Joshua that steps into the ring and knocks people out before you had the time to eat your popcorn. We will be entertained by the fact that you knock somebody out quickly. Don't worry about our entertainment, because we've already paid for the tickets and we've already paid for the subscription. So don't worry about the money. The organizers have made their money. Your job is to get into the ring and at the first opportunity, just knock him out. That's the statement win he needs to make. I agree with Carl Frampton. That's the only thing. I mean, if he wins the fight by points, people will say, okay, he's back. But for me, Tega, Onojaife of Abraka, Delta State, Nigeria, it will not be impressive to me if he gets into this ring and he doesn't knock him out quickly too. Preferably in the first or second round.
Wow.
Just end it. That's what I'm saying. It's a state. It has to be a statement to it. Now you get that back, and you can now call out anybody you want to call out. No guarantees that person will fight you, but you now have a should I say performance high ground to be doing that. It's not that you'll be calling out Tyson Fury when you've on the back of 2 losses to Usyk. Do you understand? So let's see how that pans out. But it'll be interesting to see how he deals with Saturday's fight.
Sergio Perez says he fully believes that he has Red Bull's backing to challenge Max Verstappen for the World Championships this year. Now, he says, when I first came to the team, things were different. Basically, there was just going racing with 2 cars because I had to. But I can now say that I truly feel like a part of the team. I have my place and I am well respected.
I'm sure he has another job. Red Bull gave you what permission to race who? Max Verstappen? He must have another job. Maybe he has a degree in something and he's going to, retire and go and do that, because I don't understand how Red Bull will do that. Let me tell you, the fact that Red Bull didn't allow Sergio Perez to be overtaken by Verstappen in the last race, it pained Verstappen. And you know that Verstappen is very close to Christian Horner. There's that relationship. The truth of the matter is, when it comes down to it, Red Bull would rather have one driver win the championship convincingly than have both drivers struggle, and maybe if there's a good luck for Ferrari, they'll come a little closer. Red Bull rather not just sacrifice one guy, and ultimately the guy they will sacrifice is Sergio Perez. He better know himself that he's a second class.
Know your place.
Just know your place. So I like the way he's saying, I feel at home here. I'm waiting because he has not yet gotten a radio message. It's very early in the season. He will soon get that radio message this Saturday. It's already raining in Australia. You can see they didn't finish the F2 championship. They stopped the race at first, and then they red flagged it eventually after that. Guy's tire went kaput, and they've announced winner. So if it rains on Sunday and it's a high risk race, he will get a radio message. Leave him, let him be playing. He's deceiving himself.
Wow.
Because Tega Onojaife know that the Red Bull car priority is Verstappen. Of course, the last race there was really no risk. They'd rather not have Alonso overtake Perez, because Verstappen is chasing. And by the time Verstappen got close to Perez, the gap was a little too wide to say, slow down, let Verstappen catch up and overtake. But when it's close, or when it comes down to it, I guarantee you will hear a radio message. Sergio Perez, car number 1 is faster than you. Slow down and let him overtake. I'm telling you.
Wow. That is distressing.
Don't worry, he'll wake up to the reality soon. He's still in dreamland.
Okay. Former world number 1 Daniel Medvedev has continued his fine form, reaching the Miami Open semi-finals with a straight set win over the American qualifier Christopher Eubanks.
Yes, and we're talking about rain in Australia, but he has nothing on the rain in Miami. For some reason, it's raining heavily everywhere. Like African rain, like West African rain, torrential downpour.
Mother Nature.
Yeah, it's not all those nice, cute rain. You bring out those transparent umbrellas. It's not one of those. And so it has disrupted, play in Miami. A lot of matches had to be postponed. In fact, on what's today? Today's Friday. On Wednesday night, some matches couldn't be played, but eventually they got played yesterday. So right now, Nadal Medvedev beat the wonder kid Eubanks. Eubanks was having a great tournament. All of a sudden, he came from, I think it was outside. He was ranked outside the top 100, and then he's now ranked 85 because of what he did. Getting to play into the quarterfinals. But then Medvedev made quick work of him, and he's through to the semifinals. He's through to the semifinals to play against Karen Khachanov. If you give me the head-to-head between those two, Medvedev is definitely taking it. So I have, apart from him having a very bad day, or Khachanov having a very amazing day, I think Medvedev will be in another final. Now, the guy that I'm anticipating that he will face is Carlitos. Oh, you know that guy. Carlos Alcaraz. He faced Taylor Fritz yesterday, and he had a quick walk of Taylor Fritz. And I expected it to be that way because, yes, Taylor Fritz has big serves, he has big forehands, but he doesn't have enough court coverage. And all Carlos Alcaraz had to do was just move him left to right and front to back. He worked. Taylor Fritz was like, I don't need to go through this stress. I already have points on the board. I'm going home. So that was also a quick walk, straight set. And that's the final I expect to see. Carlos Alcaraz versus Daniel Medvedev. But there is a young man there called Yannick Sinner who has great movement, great serves. He's a brilliant tennis player, and he comes up against Carlos Alcaraz. So Carlos has to not look ahead of him, but he has to defeat him first and make it through. On the women's end, Sabalenka was knocked out. Yippee! I was so happy. But Rybakina, who was played in the Australian Open final, who won in Indian Wells, now won her match yesterday. So and she's through to the final. So really, really interesting one to see there. Petra Kvitova also turning back the hands of time, also made it through. So interesting one on the women's side. Rybakina just showing great form so far. Iga Swiatek, remember, was injured, so she didn't come through here. But Rybakina is having a great year so far from what she showed us at Wimbledon last year, and I'm so happy that she's been able to achieve what she's achieving on court. But we hope the rain allows us to watch some matches today, because it didn't allow us to watch a lot of matches in the past few days. But hopefully everything will go according to schedule, and then we'll be able to see winners on both the men's and the women's side.
All right, so I think we can look at some of the messages coming through.
All right, so let's see from Tayo. Tayo says,
that's how AJ was talking before losing to Ruiz. He should calm down before he becomes a motivational speaker.
And Ted says,
Mason Greenwood was acquitted by a court of law. Was he acquitted, or
he
was
wasn't,
this case
the
dropped?
case was dropped. He wasn't acquitted,
court.
Oga. Ted, the case was dropped. Bottom line.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what I suspect happened, but read this message first.
All right, we should stop playing judge and jury. Innocent till proven guilty. He should be let back. Never been a fan of cancel culture.
All right, so I will answer Ted, but let me read Tajuddin's message first.
Tajuddin says, that's why for Joshua, but I believe he can score an A.
Yeah, I think with this guy, he should do it. But for Ted, so the truth of the matter is, we are not being judge and jury. There was a video out, so there's evidence. So it's not like it's he said, she said. We all saw the video, and that's the biggest problem, I think, for Manchester United. That's number one. Number two, he wasn't acquitted by the court. The case was dropped by the girl, and by the witness, according to the police. No, the witnesses dropped the case, so nobody's coming forward, which is why they had to drop their investigation, which is why they couldn't take him to court. And what I think happened is that he made up with the girl, because they're getting married and they're having a baby.
Yes, I saw that.
I'm just saying that she should not bring another video next time, because some of these things, you know how you are seeing evidence before, instead of you to run. I understand you wanting to drop the case, but the fact that you have gone ahead to continue a relationship with this person.
So which means for her to be pregnant at this point, and they're planning a wedding. So even while the whole thing was going on, they were still together.
They were still doing yeah. It's a tricky one when it comes to
matters of the heart.
Exactly.
Evidence involving matters.
So Ted, the evidence is out there. It's not innocent till proven guilty. He's not innocent. What it is he has not been proven guilty. The question,
Tega, that is such a technicality.
No. He's not innocent. We saw the video now. The thing is that he's not been proven guilty by the court.
Oh wow.
The good news is that he has gone for all the
counseling.
That's what we are. So
therapy.
Ted drop this innocent till proven guilty. He's not innocent.
Ted is not dropping it. Ted still sent it again. Innocent till proven
there's
guilty.
A video. Guilty until if somebody slaps. If Zibby slaps me now, even if I don't take her to court,
there's evidence.
There's evidence on YouTube that she slapped me, and she's guilty of slapping me. All right, we take a break, and when we come back, Ted can continue with his innocent till proven guilty.
Oh wow, it's just so strange.
Somebody beat somebody on. We saw the thing on camera. You're telling me innocent till proven guilty.
So even maybe when they arrested him, they were still together.
So no, they were not together. But there was a time when they were saying that the case is really bad and really damaging. Then they said he had gone and she had filed this what's this called? You can't be 100 and so feet near the person.
Restraining order.
Yes, restraining order. And he still went to see her after that. So it was after that first breaking of the restraining order.
Yeah.
I was like, this girl is going to take him back.
See, a lot of those girls, their life ambition is to be a wag.
Yeah.
Regardless of the situation.
Yeah.
So she's like, if I lose this one, I can't get another football player. So let me stick with this one.
Exactly. So some of them, their life. So I'm just saying, maybe he will become a better man tomorrow. But I'm just saying, you've seen hints now. You cannot. You better not bring out tape tomorrow. That's my own. Because you can. It's okay to say, okay, I forgive you. I'm not going to press charges. I'm walking away.
Yeah.
It's okay for you to do that. But you are carrying on with this person. You cannot cry again no longer.
Now, wow.
Nobody will be listening to you.
Now that club is in a very
that's the
difficult
problem.
position.
That's the problem. The club is in a precarious position because of the evidence that is outside. You know. This is not what happened to Johnny Depp, Ted. It's not the same thing. She made an accusation. People believed her without, and then evidence came out.
But in that Johnny Depp's case, 2 of them were abusive.
No, two of them were abusive to each other. But Ted, this is not what happened in Johnny Depp's case.
No,
this
it was
is
one way
different. People like to feel aggrieved. Ted, I'm beginning to suspect you now. I better be asking all the girls you've dated.
You're listening to The Locker Room on Smooth 98.1. It's Tega and Zibby here. We're streaming live on YouTube. Remember, there's a lot that goes on YouTube that you can see. So it's just search for us on YouTube.
Just like me looking at Ted now with side eye. Ted has showed his hand.
And you can also send us messages via WhatsApp 0809 440 or tweet at smooth981.
All right, so we start the second half with what Tayo is saying, because we're going to be going straight into that. And he says EPL is back. No more Pesero and Super Eagles drama for now. I agree with you. It's time to watch the elephants sit on the table. Anthony Sambadas and Chelsea with their consistency. I like the way you put it. So he's like, Greenwood is holding the grenade with the pin already out.
His matter didn't get to trial, so Tega's right.
I don't know what Ted is arguing. Leave Ted. I'm just going to say, Ted, I'm suspecting you now. All right. Let's go into the next story about the EPL, and it's a big one, right? Is it?
Right, Manchester City fans are sweating on the fitness of goal machine Erling Haaland ahead of their key home Premier League game against Liverpool that's happening this Saturday.
Yes, the very first match of the weekend. It's like we're trying to come back from what the Super Eagles did to us, and they slapped us with a big game. Manchester City versus Liverpool. Early kickoff, for that matter. So they're saying that they're sweating on Haaland, and his father was saying something like, it's touch and go, it's 50-50, you can't just be out and come back into a big fight. And I'm just looking at his father with side eye, because I've heard this Erling Haaland struggle before, and then I saw him on the pitch. So they can't sell me this one. I don't know that it's mind games. I think he was injured, but I think maybe he could have recovered. I don't think it rules him out. I don't know what to think, because with football these days anything can happen. So the big news though is Phil Foden is definitely out, but Erling Haaland, according to his father, is 50-50 touch and go. So we don't know if he's going to start against Liverpool. Now, hopefully, I'd see the Liverpool that came up against Manchester United. That'd be a great Liverpool to see. Because remember, when Manchester United was coming up against Liverpool, we're like, it's going to be a Manchester United win. Then they scored 7. Eric Seven Hag. I will never forget how they changed the guy's name. And so I want to see that Liverpool again, because there's a small, recently growing rivalry between Manchester City and Liverpool. It really started 3 or 4 seasons ago, but it's a budding one. So they should use that rivalry eye to face Manchester City, and let's see if it will be interesting. Otherwise, it could just be a beat down for Liverpool. But we're interested to see the Liverpool that comes back, and the good news is that they're playing immediately after the international break, so you don't know in which form all players are coming in. It just gives both teams an opportunity to express themselves. So good one for Manchester City, Liverpool. I should have asked what you think the scoreline will be, but I don't want anybody to risk it.
It's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell.
All right, so Manchester City fans, good luck with your game tomorrow. Let's move on to Atletico Madrid now. Atletico are hosting Real Betis in La Liga on Sunday, and both of these teams will be motivated not just by their top 4 aspirations, but also a desire to preserve their unbeaten runs in the league.
Ever since Atletico Madrid, news came out that after this season, they'd be losing their coach. It's like playing well. It's almost as if they want to wish their coach goodbye. I'm suspecting those players. Those players are not kind. Because, it was the minute he said, you know what, I may not come back next season. All of a sudden, they started winning.
Wow.
So I'm suspecting those guys, but hey, so Atletico Madrid has gone on an unbeaten run before the break. They were one of the teams that were not happy to see the break, because we're getting their season back on track. Real Betis had a mini one apart from the time they struggled, with Manchester United in Europa. So both of them are going head to head. Real Betis are in fifth position and they can close the gap to top four should they beat Atletico. So an interesting one. The Barcelona is already 8 points clear at the top of the table. They play on Saturday, but they could extend that gap, you know, to 11 points before Real Madrid plays Valladolid on Sunday. So La Liga is looking like it's almost over. So La Liga concluded, Italian Serie A concluded. The only open leagues really are EPL, well, mini open, EPL, and Bundesliga. Right.
Interesting. Well, let us know what your thoughts are. The WhatsApp number is 0809 444 981. You can also tweet at smooth981 and post a comment on the live stream as well. Yep. Just search for the channel. It's smooth981. That is it. Let's go on there and read a message. LK Aderoba says, club football is back this weekend. We thank God. It's been a boring 2 weeks. At least we can hear Tega shade Chelsea and drag Liverpool again.
I'm not that bad. All right. Let's see. She says, let's look. Tega, please look at Mason Greenwood's girlfriend with side eye too. Conspiracy theory. She may have planned the incident in order to trap him into marriage. How convenient that she could record the incident on notice. Innocent until proven guilty. Does not apply to the court of public opinion. So, I mean, I don't know how to explain this to you, but I will explain it one more time. If you want to trap me, you have to trap me with something you know I'm capable of doing. So, for instance, I like chips. So, if you want to catch Tega as a thief, just keep chips around my vicinity when I'm very hungry. I will eventually steal that. But if you drop vegetables for me, you're on your own. Those vegetables will stay there. They will rot in there. Do you understand? So at the end of the day, in order for her to trap him like that, he had to have done it before. And again and again. So she was like, again, at the end of the day, it's not something you can't trap somebody with something that they're not going to fall for. Like I said, you can't trap me with vegetables. You can trap me with chips. You can't trap me with vegetables. So Ibuku, all of this your conspiracy theory that you're conspiring. Anyway.
Okay.
He's still typing.
All right. So Mikel Arteta says Arsenal's charge towards the Premier League title is being fueled by his players, what he's describing as unity and togetherness. Now, he says that they have the right level of competition and cooperation. They really want to help each other, but they also have to challenge each other as well so that it can benefit the team and lift them to the standards that they want.
All right. So this is the business end. This is an interesting one. Arsenal's remaining fixtures look a little tricky. In those remaining fixtures, they still have a Liverpool there. I think they have a Manchester, one of the Manchesters, either Manchester United or Manchester City. They have a Newcastle and an Aston Villa. And I think those are the questions people are asking, like, can Arsenal have in order for Arsenal to win this title realistically, they're going to have to do it on their own side. So they have to win all their remaining matches. And the question is, can they win their entire remaining matches?
Wow.
Those are the questions that people are asking. So I'm going to throw the phone lines open now, and I want people to tell me for real. Can Arsenal win their remaining matches to win the league? Because I know some of you say Manchester City too cannot win all their remaining matches, but Arsenal has to do their job. Do you understand? You have to write your own exam first and pass. It doesn't matter how many people fail behind you, but you have to write your own exam first and pass. After you pass, you now start worrying about who failed. Then you know if you are going to come first. So run your race, cross the finish line, and then you start looking behind to see how many people you dusted. So based on Arsenal's remaining fixtures, can you still say that Arsenal will win the title? The numbers to call are
0144899981.
All
Again,
right.
zero
01
one
double
double
four
four
eight
eight
nine
nine nine
nine
eight
eight
one.
one.
So, Tiger, why do you keep making me call these numbers
Eh,
when you obviously?
no. You call it better. If I call it, I call it like a warrior girl very fast. Zero. No. So when you call it, people want to call the number. All right. So let's take the first message. Okay. Let's take the first call. Then we'll take the first message. Hello. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. Yeah. Good morning. Your name and your location, please. All right. Go right ahead. Do you think Arsenal can win the league based on their remaining fixtures?
Absolutely. There's no way Arsenal is going to pick up. Recently, they've had a lot of draws, and their form has been good, but there's no way they're going to win all of their remaining matches. So the title race is still on.
All right. Thank you very much. Hello. Good morning. Oh no.
All right.
We need to drop that. Hello. Good morning. Yeah. Hello. Good morning. Your name and your location, please. Uche. All right. So Arsenal. Let us know. Do you think Arsenal can win the title based on their remaining fixtures?
Yes. Because the game is all about play your own, I play my own.
Okay.
So Arsenal can win two and draw one. They can win the league.
All right.
It's only Liverpool and the Manchester City away match. So make it from there.
All right. So thank you so much. All right. So just to reiterate, Arsenal. Let's take this call first. Hello. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. Yeah. Your name and your location, please. All right. Go right ahead. Do you think Arsenal can win the league?
I'm not sure. Because although they've been trying their best from the beginning of the league, but presently right now, this is going to change anyway, no matter what, because they'll be trying to maintain the top. But you see, Man City, the other thing, trust me, they're still coming back. Trust me, they're coming back. So I'm not sure they're going to win all the rest of the matches. I'm not sure. But they're trying their best anyway.
All right. So just so that we are clear, Arsenal play Leeds on Saturday at home. So that's one. But the tricky matches for me, they play Liverpool away, they play Manchester City away. Arsenal play Chelsea at home, but I think people will say that Arsenal will win that. But Arsenal also play Newcastle away, and then they play Brighton at home. And because Brighton is such a tricky team, it was not Aston Villa, it was Brighton, sorry. So I made a mistake with the error. So the matches that for me are tricky. Liverpool away, Man City away, Newcastle away, and then Brighton at home. Those are the tricky matches. So based on that, would you say Arsenal can still win the league? Let's take this call. Hello, good morning. Uh-oh. Try again. Let's see. Emeka from Amuwo says,
why should Manchester City worry? They have Julian Alvarez, who is also a deadly striker. As for Arsenal, as long as they remain injury-free, they are definitely winning it. The last caller said they had a lot of draws. He forgets that Arsenal won their last 6 Premier League games. What's also the guarantee City will win their remaining games?
All right. So Emeka is saying City will also drop points. So whatever Arsenal does, they could win their league. And we're out of time.
We are out of time.
Because I can see that call coming in, but I'm not taking it. I apologize. We can't take your call because we are out of time. Thank you so much for all the phone calls. Thank you for all the messages and for watching us on YouTube. So this weekend, watch your matches, prepare your banter, because on Monday it will be red. Zibby, take over your studio.
All right, that is it for the locker room this morning. But do stay with us. There's a lot more to come from 9 a.m. We get talking on Lagos Talks.
Oh, thank you so much. So sorry we couldn't take that call.